In today's video, we are going to talk about how to install Visual Studio 2022 in Windows 10. Myself Mohammad Zubair, and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid IT pro really fast. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first of all, we need to download our Visual Studio 2022 version. So for that purpose, I'll head to my browser. In here, I will just write Visual Studio download and I will just hit enter. This is the official link from the official website of Visual Studio. So I'll just click on that one. From here, we'll download the community version as it's a free one. Other than that, you have professional and you have enterprise as well, but they are paid one after you are done using the trial version. So I'll just click on community version and we'll download it. So here we have Visual Studio setup file, and one thing is to be noted here, and that is this is not the installation, or you can say this is not the ISO file. It is basically an installer file. After you are done downloading and installing this one, the installation and download part of the Visual Studio will start then. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll just click on start download. I will open this one. Now click on continue, and here if you see it is downloading some of the files, and right after that it is installing all those files as well. So we have to wait for it, and then I'll show you what do we have to do next in order to get the Visual Studio up and running. We are done with the download and now we are done with the installation as well. Now from here, you need to set an environment that you want to keep for your Visual Studio. You can go with the Python, ASP.NET, Azure, Node.js. You can go for your mobile development, and you can go with .NET desktop development as well. If you scroll down, it will give you more options. I'll go with the .NET desktop development. I'll just check that option. And with that, you get all these things, like you have just-in-time debugger, it is also known as JIT. Then we have .NET Framework 4.8 development tool, .NET profiling tools, and many more things. After that, here if you see, here it says total space required 6.32 gigabytes. And from here, you can change the directory where you want to install this tool. I'll change it. I'll click on change, and this is the directory where it is going to get installed. So I'll click on this browse button, and from here I'll go to my D directory. I'll create a new folder and I will name it as Visual Studio. I'll click on select folder. Again, I will click on it, and you can do the same for your download cache as well, but I'll keep it as it is. After that, just click on install and make sure you have a good and stable internet connection, because it will take a little bit of time to download this much files. So I will wait for it and I'll get back to you once we are done with the download and installation of everything that is required to download and install Visual Studio. After that, I'll show you a sample project that how you can create it and how you can run it into your Visual Studio. So we are done here with all the necessary file downloading and their installation. Now in case if you want to create an account, or if you want to sign in with one, you can do so. And in case if you do not, just click on not now, maybe later. And from here, select the Outlook or select the theme for your Visual Studio. I'll go with the blue one, and after that here it says development setting. Well, let's say you want to set it for JavaScript, Visual Basic, C#, C++, web development, or web development code only. It is all up to you. I'll go with the general option, and then I'll click on start Visual Studio. Here it says we are preparing for the first use, and it will do some settings on the backend so that we can use our Visual Studio with much better visibility. So we are done with everything, and from here you can clone a repository. It means if you have a repository available on GitHub or Azure DevOps, you can clone it onto your Visual Studio. Or in case if you have a project that is already available onto your machine, you can open that one or you can open a local folder, or you can create a new project. If I minimize this window, here it says Visual Studio Community 2022. You can launch it directly from here as well. I'll just click on launch and let's see. So again, it has opened the same window for us here. From now, I'll click on create a new project because I want to show you a sample project. So I'll just click on that one. And from here, it will ask us to set or select a template for our project. It is loading all the sample or all the templates that are available into our Visual Studio. I look for console app.NET framework. So just scroll down and look for it. So here we have console app.NET framework. I'll select that one and I'll click on next. From here, you can name it anything. I'll name it as skills build. In terms of location, you can go to any location and you can have that project saved as per your liking. After that, here we have solution name and here we have .NET framework that will be used for this particular project. If you click on this drop down arrow, here you have another version available, but I'll go with the default one. After that, click on create. Now it will create some files, some classes for our project into our .NET for our Visual Studio. So here we have all the libraries and then we have our namespace as skills build, and here we have a default class with the name of program, and here we have void main that we get by default in all the projects. So here, in case if you want to increase the size of your fonts, just click on this drop down arrow and from here you can increase the size. I'll go with 150. And now let's write something in here. I will write here console dot write line, and in that I'll have my message. I'll write here first program after installation of Visual Studio. And now to display it, I'll write here console dot read key. Here it is. After that, I'll have my brackets and I have my semicolon. Now we are good to go. So before we start or before we run this program, we have to build this first. So for that purpose, go to your build and click on build solution. It will build our program and here it says 1 successful, 0 failed, 0 up to date, 0 skipped. It means we have done everything successfully. Now in order to run this program, here we have a button that says start. Just click on it. It will launch our terminal and here we have the output as first program after installation of Visual Studio. So that shows we are done with everything and our Visual Studio code is up and running with everything successfully. And that also brings us to the end of today's video. And I'm sure that you must have liked this video as well. If that is the case, please leave a like, subscribe and press the bell icon. We'll get back to you in the next video. Till then, take care.